Okay, welcome to the Inven Global podcast. This is episode 17. I am your host, Nick Terrazio, and I'm once again joined with Eric Gandell, business manager for Inven Global. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing super good. Super good. I just turned the big 25. Big 25.
Wow. Happy birthday.
Years old.
So this is a birthday podcast. That's why we have this lovely photo of Dudley from a Street Fighter Third Strike. I am playing a remix of the Dudley Street Fighter theme for Eric's birthday. So Eric, how does it feel like to be 25 years old?
Just about the same. I mean, especially in quarantine. Not really feeling that much different. Yeah, I was just hanging out with my girlfriend. We were drinking and hanging out. I played a lot of Persona 5.
Hey. All right.
Just had a day of it, yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, happy birthday to Eric. Let him know at Winko Stainless on Twitter. Okay. Music's over. We got work to do.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have a pretty stacked podcast for you today. We got a lot of cool news. What you see now is this diabolical creature from Amazon's newest game, The Crucible. We're going to talk about that a lot. Personally, I think it's terrifying that the monolithic overlord Amazon is entering the games industry. You should be very, very afraid. The fact that they are, this isn't going to make gaming bigger. It's just going to have Amazon take a giant Pac-Man bite out of everyone else's revenue. So, that being said, What games have I been playing? I have been playing Tetris 99.
Really? Oh, yeah, because you're a Switch boy. You got the Nintendo Live package now.
It's true. So, I am a Switch boy. Long-time viewers of the podcast have been following the narrative of my a Nintendo ascendancy. I finally am the proud owner of a Switch. I had to pay a coronavirus premium. I know it sucked, but it's been well worth it. Animal Crossing is so fun. I play it with my wife. Our island is adorable. But Tetris 99, that's what I've been playing nonstop.
Dude, are you good at Tetris?
So I pretty consistently get top 30. I'm not good.
Yeah.
My sister though gets second place repeatedly. She hasn't won yet, but my little sister is a god at Tetris.
I wish I was that good at Tetris. I mean, I got in with the masses when it first launched and stuff. So I think the highest I was able to get was top 3 or something.
Yeah.
But I can't even imagine
now it's just the killers.
Playing that game.
Now it's just the killers, especially higher up. My wife, Bin is surprisingly good. The highest she's gotten is
nice.
top 20, which
cool.
is great.
Yeah.
She's so focused, but I've been loving it. However, I will say Tetris 99 is the most rage-inducing game I have probably ever played in my life.
That's also why I had to stop.
I don't know, man. I used to love. I still do love Tetris, but you just add a component in which I know another player has beaten me, and it's like the salt comes out. How does this happen?
And the fact that Tetris is such a simple game, you kind of beat yourself up that you're like, why can't I just do this better?
It looks so easy.
It kind of targets a very primal, it kind of all boils down to your core gaming skills basically.
Yep.
Your ability to kind of stay on top of this stuff, outthink people, and just kind of getting absolutely demolished by Debbie Mom 4226.
So here's the thing. In Debbie Mom's favor, though, I feel as if Tetris is such a pure video game. I think a lot of people who don't normally consider themselves gamers can play something like Tetris 99 and there's a reason this game rocked the world when it came out. There's a reason this was the most popular game ever, and it essentially made gamers gamers. There is something so satisfying about throwing down some tetraminos, right? That's how you say it? Tetraminos? That's the name for them, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, tetraminos. Anyways, I've actually been also enjoying Tetris esports. Shoutouts to James Chen, IGEC fan and supporter. He's been on some of our panels, but he's also a fantastic Tetris commentator. So I've been watching some of the greatest Tetris matches in recent history, and man, they're good. These guys are so great. So yeah, I've been on a Tetris kick. What about you? Eric?
Like I said, just Persona 5. I'm at a point where in the game where I'm just trying to like bulldoze through the rest of it. Maybe I have like 30 hours left, but it's like the end of the original game, so I'm kind of getting off of that kick, and then it's just kind of waiting to see what all the new post game stuff is. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's going really well. Yeah, I've been playing it with my girlfriends.
So Persona 5, that's on the Switch too, right?
No, it's on the PS4.
PS4. I'm looking at it right now. I was thinking of Fire Emblem. There's a short list of RPGs I have to get caught up on now. Dude, I'm literally thinking about buying Dragon Quest for the Switch just so I can play with the good music, like the definitive edition. And it would be so comfy to play on my Switch.
I've thought about it multiple times. It's on my wish list. I was waiting for it to go down to like $20 or whatever, but
if I could,
that music, man.
If I could somehow transfer my save data from PC to Switch, I know I can't. That's why I said if I could somehow, then I would do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to play it on PC. So Persona 5, my sister loves that game, and I say my sister, and it may be confusing. I have 4 sisters, and they're all gamers. So there's not just one like monolithic sister that loves all of these games. I have multiples. So anyways, that's cool. I've watched it before. I know all of the characters are beautiful. But as funny as it stands, my only experience with Persona is the first one. The very first one for PlayStation. Yeah.
First one?
Yeah. I played that game with my dad. And it was so weird. And it was the strangest game I've ever seen. But we really liked it.
Well, Persona 4 on the Vita, which is like basically a definitive version of that game, is like my favorite game of all time.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, it was just like a combination of like the game just being excellent and like the time of my life that I played it.
I was definitely too young too. Like I was too young to even understand what was going on. Like let's be brutally honest.
Well, I asked for Persona 3 for the PSP at one point, and my grandma got me the first Persona game for my birthday on the PSP. So,
dude, that's so crazy. I'm looking up the Persona 1 artwork right now. Let me see if I can bring it up on stream right now. So I'm like bringing up this. Oh wow, that's so tiny. But whatever. You see it now, right? You see this artwork? All I remember from my childhood is what type of monster this CD got in Monster Rancher. Please tell me you know the game Monster Rancher.
Oh yeah.
I love Monster Rancher. It's such a great game. I think this got a pretty rare monster. So shout outs to PlayStation Classics, right? What a great era.
Monster Rancher got ported to Switch, right?
Wait, what? Which one?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Probably the best one, if I had to guess.
Well, because the new ones suck.
Or like Monster Rancher. Yeah.
Monster Rancher HD? What? I gotta check. What? Monster Rancher Switch will go beyond with a simple port? Oh my god, this is a tournament mode? You just blew my mind. You just literally blew my mind right now.
Is that out already, or is it
Monster Rancher on Switch retains that PS1 style. Oh my god, you have saved me. Look at this.
Yeah, dude.
Nintendo Switch Monster Rancher? I'm playing.
Look at that thing.
That's a Suizo. There's Holly. There's all the monsters. How do I get it? Oh, I want it.
Oh, look at that guy.
I want it. This is my childhood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it works because the whole thing with Monster
Rancher, you use the internet. You could
put in like game discs and it would like spit out different monsters and stuff based on the game.
But this says right now you will create a monster from a CD by accessing the database from the game via the internet and performing music search.
Oh,
wow,
that's pretty dope.
Wow. Okay, so podcast canceled. I gotta go find out how I can play this game immediately. Wow, that's actually really cool. That's fun. I'm excited for that. Anyways, back on topic. Let's get back to the world of esports. You may ask, what are all these strange... Oh, that is Tetris. You may ask, what are all these strange images? What is this strange mix of Apex... You know what? Okay, first of all...
What's happening?
Before we talk about Amazon's horrible, vulgar step into yet another industry in which it is trying to absolutely dominate. It's a monopoly with no checks and balances. It's just like,
Yeah.
before we even talk about this, can we just talk about this game is pretty much like, what is this? I'm seeing it's like Borderlands meets like Destiny meets Apex
So,
Legends, right? It's
From
this.
what I was reading about it, it definitely, well, it was like announced 3 years ago. So,
Yeah.
the absolute boom
Yeah.
of Fortnite and PUBG and all the battle royale stuff. So it definitely started off as one of those games, and I'm sure as development went through, they saw how big Fortnite came, and they were like, let's get away from that. So now it's more like I think it's like a max player count of like 16. There's like teams of 2 teams of 8 or 2 teams of or 8 teams of 2 or something like that. But
Well, it's launching free to play tomorrow, Eric.
which is insane.
May 20th. Yeah.
Nick, have you ever heard of this game before?
No.
Now?
So I've heard of Amazon's games when they had that weird like sports ball game. It was it was like that battle arena where you had to like get. I actually played it at PAX, I think, or some thing. What was that game called? I think it was called I don't know, but it was like trying to be like an esport. They had this idea of, what if we made a game? Eric, if
the Grand Tour game?
Is that it? Amazon?
No, maybe not. Episodic racing video game?
I have to just look it up right now. Amazon, the curious case of Amazon's deep plunge into the esports industry. Oh, this is so interesting. This article was written 3 years ago, which is, man, like Amazon has been planning this hostile takeover. Like, people think I'm being crazy, but can you imagine what's going to happen when Amazon Echoes are selling downloadable content, like to this game?
Sure, yeah.
Anyways, let's just actually talk about the game for,
Yeah.
So to you who aren't watching our stream, we're talking about Amazon, this game called The Crucible. Here's just a quote from one of the devs. A big difference between Crucible and similar games is the addition of PvE elements that tie into in-match progression system. In Crucible, you're not just fighting the other team, you're fighting various beasts scattered throughout the game's world. Crucible sports 10 characters, each with a different playstyle and role, yada yada yada. Okay,
Yeah.
how unique.
So it's a character shooter. It's a like a small scale battle royale game. It's like got MMO or
Holy shit, they did
like League of Legends.
It's
kind of
Heroes
like
of the
elements
Storm.
to it.
It's
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm. Look at this. Collect essence from killing other players and NPC enemies throughout the environment to level up. Your whole team shares the same level throughout the match.
Yeah.
They did it. Heroes of the Storm's back. I cannot believe they
don't know
took.
about that.
Oh, okay. So first of all, Amazon, I hate to break it to you, that's probably the worst aspect of Heroes of the Storm. Like 100%. The worst aspect of the game is the fact that you shared a level with the whole team. It means that you have no sense of personal responsibility for your play. It means that when you're trying to learn Heroes of the Storm, you learn some pretty bad habits because you can brawl like an idiot and die, but it doesn't matter because the two responsible players are soaking the entire time. So you think you're not bad, but trust me, you're very bad. I promise you this will happen in Amazon. I promise you there will be players having loads of fun, mind you, feeding out of their mind, but they don't realize it because their frustrated teammates are dutifully creating essence or collecting essence.
So yeah, so that's kind of like a overall kind of overview of the game. I mean, the art style looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure it plays just fine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I'm just kind of like blown away with like the fact that nobody seems to be talking about this game. Like I'm pretty like all day went just like checking news on like a bunch of sites like daily and stuff. Like the first time I heard about this popping up was like 2 days ago.
Well, that's the thing is like they don't need. So here's the big scary thing about Amazon. Like they don't need to market because they own like the platform. We're gonna talk about this later, but it's been like a record year for esports. I mean, for video game sales, right? Record year. Like it's insane. In this first quarter alone, it's been like 10 10 billion or something. I'm underestimating
Yeah.
it. You know how many of those games were sold on Amazon? I bought my Switch on Amazon. I bought Animal Crossing on Amazon. I literally bought every single game purchase on Amazon. So they
Yeah.
don't need to market it. If you
And
search for video games, like I guarantee, Eric, your Amazon is going to be filled with this game.
well, an important thing that I think we didn't even mention yet is this is a free to play game
Yep, it's free to
that's
play.
only available on Steam.
Free to play, though I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna. Okay, so free to play obviously isn't really free. Everyone knows that, right? There's going to be some sort of downloadable content. There's going to be something.
There's a battle pass that they've already talked
there's a
about.
battle pass. So it's free to play, but all that really means is they want it to be this cultural thing, and then they want you to feel FOMO because all of your friends have all of the goodies and you don't. So let's talk a little bit more about this game. They say Battle Royale influences the gameplay, but on a much smaller scale. Game modes range from 8 to 16 players. That's pretty interesting. And there will be 3 game modes available at launch. Here's a quote from one of the devs from the franchise lead, Colin Johansson. We also came to the conclusion and shifted away from Battle Royale a lot. I think Crucible is something entirely unique unto itself. So, yeah, that sounds exactly like Heroes of the Storm when they thought they were really clever and they said, you know what, we don't really want to be like other MOBAs. We want to be a hero brawler.
Yeah. So the first thing that pops into mind when I hear about like all the elements that are making up this game is Battleborn. Are you familiar with Battleborn?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Battleborn.
And how it was a colossal flop because it just tried to do so many things. It was the hero shooter with like the like League of Legends kind of like elements to it, and you're like pushing lanes, and it just didn't work at all. And like there were so many characters, but they all basically did the same thing. I don't know, and I just see like this game. There's been like virtually no marketing for it from what I've seen. Amazon owns Twitch. You think there would be like a big banner on the screen, or there'd be like Twitch Prime.
Man,
like
they know though
already, kind of like advertising the game, like get like 100 loot boxes or something just by clicking this and playing it. And
so
it's free to play.
Here's my tinfoil hat, right? I think. So first of all, here's just some things that I'm going to assume. You got to assume that whoever Amazon is paying is very smart, right? You have to assume that Amazon is paying huge bucks, massive bucks. So the people who are in charge of marketing this game, upgrading this game, they know what they're doing, or at least they're getting paid very well, right? Think about it. If you're releasing this game, do you really want to right now be competing with Valorant? Do you really right now want to be going toe to toe with these other games? I'm not so sure. I almost think this concept of like a quiet release, it makes sense. Like what this is going to do is this will have a fan base just automatically, because there's going to be so many people playing it because Amazon recommended it to them. Like I said, Amazon Echo is going to be like, oh, do you want to play a game? Why not try this? And it's free. So there's going to be people playing this game. And then I think we will see a bigger push when there's a slow period, where there's a lull period. Maybe when people get tired of Valorant, or when it's not the next big thing. I think that Amazon is, they've seen what happened with games like Artifact, right? Like, they see what happens when you hype up your game. It's almost as if they're like not trying to hype it up,
I think that's a lot of wishful thinking to just, because they're Amazon, to just kind of figure that this game is going to be a success because, they have the money and resources to back it for however long they want to.
So,
but
I never said it will be good, but it will be a success. Mark my words. This game will do what Amazon set out to do. Who knows what they've set out to do, but, I mean, dude, that Bezos, you can't underestimate him.
That son of a bitch.
So I heard something really, really fascinating about Jeff Bezos, right? Like, you would think the man doesn't need more money, right? False. He needs more money. That's just what he does. He just wants to make all the money in the world, right? But think about it. Amazon's so massive. How many other industries can even sate their appetite? I mean, they're going to be the first $1 trillion company, right? So if you're trying to keep that growth, if you're trying to keep those shareholders happy, you can't make small plays. So like Amazon right now, they're disrupting the education industry. They're disrupting, well, like the medical tech industry. Like they're disrupting these massive things. And I honestly think that the gaming industry is another one of those big chunks that they said, you know what, we're money vampires. We feed off the blood of successful industries, and then we come in and we bully them out because we have infinite money and we own the means of selling these things. So I honestly think that like the success of this game isn't about if it's good. It's just about if it's massive, and I think it's going to be massive.
Okay, all right. I'm kind of on the other. If I had to place a bet on it,
Yep.
I feel like this game is gonna come and go.
I don't know,
quicker
man.
than like we've taken the time to kind of talk about it during this podcast, honestly.
You know what? This robot is just stupid enough for people to like. This,
You think so?
This has shades of Fortnite. This has shades of Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, think about it this way, right? Imagine all of the Fortnite kids. They've played Fortnite, right? They started playing Fortnite when they're 12, 13, right? They've grown up now. They're 16. They're angsty, right? They're sick of being called Fortnite kids. They're sick of being made fun of because they know all of the dances, right? They don't have any money. They want a game that's a little more mature. Just a little more mature. Maybe it's this game. With the, you have this little Rocket Raccoon, a ripoff. You have this little, what's that guy from a Borderlands, that a robot everyone loves?
Claptrap?
Yeah, right? Yeah. You have this little Claptrap ripoff. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember that game Paragon?
No. Wait, yes. Is that the one with like the Greek gods and stuff?
No, that's Smite.
God, there's so many games
Paragon
in that.
kind of played the same way, where it was like over the shoulder third person,
Yeah.
skill. You're pushing lanes and stuff.
Yep.
You're doing all this stuff, and that game died. And that game was developed by Epic Games.
Yeah.
Before Fortnite, obviously.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think developers just make the same mistakes over and over again, where they just kind of don't do the necessary marketing, don't have the necessary support going into these new titles because they're just, they sell it off as the clout behind their studio. People are going to play that game because they love Borderlands and they love like Gears of War and stuff. But
You know what,
I don't
Eric?
know.
You're right. You're right.
Just like these style of games, I don't think has as big of an audience as the developers would like to think there are.
Yeah.
When you mash up so many genres and so many ideas into one thing, it kind of gets lost to a point where you're no longer kind of trying to get the biggest audience possible.
Yeah.
You're kind of polarizing the people that like, the things in their favorite genres and kind of pushing them away. So,
Eric, this is why I'm the fake gamer of this podcast, because you're the real gamer. See, you just spoke to the real heart and soul of gamers. See, I have no faith in gamers anymore. None. I think that at this point, good gameplay. We kind of lost that conversation when everyone agreed that downloadable content's great and that it's totally okay to buy unfinished games and pre-ordering. I mean, the whole concept of pre-ordering games just makes no sense to me, right? This concept of I'm such a hype beast. I want to like ride the wave of gaming culture so much that I'll buy the game before I even play it, before I even hear what it's like. I just have a feeling, I guess I am the more cynical side. I just see a massive company like Amazon and I just say it's just the start. This is the beginning of the end. So we will obviously talk more about this game. It's going to release tomorrow. So
to kind of wrap up what I was thinking,
Yeah.
it's just like I think Amazon lost faith in this project a long time ago. So they're just kind of pumping it out, not doing a whole lot of marketing for it, seeing how it does, and then if it does end up like attracting this giant audience for whatever reason, then they're going to be throwing their support at it. Getting it up on Twitch, like highlights and stuff, making sure it's always on the front page. But
can
I
you
just don't think
imagine?
so.
Can you imagine the job security working at Amazon's like game studios. Like,
Yeah.
like you don't need to. Just oh yeah, sure, I'm like make a game. Oh, it was bad. All right, what's the next game we're making?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, like Amazon, I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon was just one of those companies that'd be like, oh, you didn't perform as well as we want to. We're going to cut ties completely with you and start anew somewhere else.
Yeah, start a whole. So that is true, but mark my words, Amazon will not let the gaming industry go until they have seized as much money from it as possible. Like
you would
this
think
won't be
that
the last.
They would want to kind of do something like Google Stadia kind of esque, where maybe with some better prep work than Google Stadia, where you have this, you're constantly just like pumping out games at one after another, and then once your platform is ready, you kind of put all of those games under one umbrella, and then just make it exclusive to like your streaming service.
Yeah. Wow, that was actually a really great idea.
Yeah.
All right.
But people are in I mean, these giant corporations aren't patient enough to do that, which I understand, but I think that's the way to go. So.
Well, speaking of things that I'm impatient for, Evo Online 2020. This is our next topic of discussion. Wait, let me make this a little bigger here. I can't really read this. Can you read that? Okay, let me get that little cropped. Okay, there we go. Then. All right, there we go. So, Evo Online 2020 lineup has been announced, and Eric, there's one game that's missing. That makes us quite sad.
Yeah, Smash Bros is nowhere to be seen, unfortunately. I mean,
no Smash Brothers, guys. No Smash Ultimate. None of that. Why do you think that is, Eric?
Oh, I mean, I think it's been like a topic on the podcast for like 3 weeks in a row or something.
Yeah.
Where it's one story or another being like, oh, Smash Online is trash and the community's pissed and the competitive scene is mad because they can't play their games. And now this is just kind of like the culmination of it, where it's just not, the online infrastructure is just not reliable enough to have like a tournament of Evo's caliber.
It's sad because the Smash Brothers community was really making some headway in terms of like, I won't go as far to say dominating, but being a huge player in the fighting game scene, right? And you cannot imagine a community that is hurt more than the coronavirus and the quarantine than the Smash Brothers community. There is going to be some documentary style video one day, maybe 5 years from now, and it's going to play some sepia tone in which the narrator's like, and things were going great for Smash until COVID-19, and then we're going to see all these sad players and their streams saying, I guess I'm not going to any tournaments, because like Nintendo hasn't been creating sustainable online fighting game environments ever since they went online. They just haven't been a thing, and it shows here.
They've always kind of been like 4 steps behind everybody else, and I don't know.
And currently, Eric, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but are you familiar with how much Smash Brothers players hate playing against Sonic in online mode?
I've seen like memes like sprinkled around every so often, but I haven't really dug into like what the crux of it is. It just like a NES kind of problem where it's like spamming B is all you really need to do to win?
Oh no, this is fun. This one's gonna be fun. So Sonic, this boyo right here, turns out he is one of the worst designed characters in Smash Bros. History. So I'll try to paraphrase. When he first came out, came out, not Brawl, right? Was it Brawl?
No, it was Brawl. Yeah. The Wii game.
So when he first came out in Brawl, he was like bad. He like wasn't good, but he was a little gimmicky. He could barely kill, but he's fast.
I think he's one of the most boring games in an entire series.
And that's the thing, dude. He's so boring. The reason he's boring is because, game developers give a character high speed and they say, he's rushdown, he's in your face. That's not how esports work. If you give a character super high speed and the highest mobility in the game, he'll just camp you out. Like, that's it. He will just camp you. You can't hit him. He will win by timeouts. He will only take trades when it's beneficial to him. He'll literally wait at the end of the stage for you to do something. And that is how Sonic has been played ever since he's been in Smash.
Yeah.
It was kind of annoying in Smash for the Wii U because he was a lot better, right? He was like a top tier character, but people still, it's not that bad because he still had some jank to him, but there were other characters who were way better.
I feel like to even kind of get Sonic in the game, they had to kind of bend to Sega's will and, you know, how the character was designed and you know, what he was going to be doing. I'm sure if they had like a couple more liberties with how they could design this character and introduce like, you know, new and interesting thing that's not just like 4 variations of like the spin dash. I mean, even you can see it in the color variations that are available.
They're
it's
so
all
lame,
just
all
different
blue.
shades of blue. Yeah.
So the whole thing, though, about Sonic is that in Smash Brothers Ultimate, he's considerably better, but he's not a character who consistently gets tournament wins. That is until Smash Bros. Ultimate came into the online sphere. Now that COVID-19 is so rampant and every single Smash Ultimate tournament has been made online, like Sonic is like leagues better than everyone now, because you know how hard it is to punish Sonic in a laggy environment? You know how hard it is to chase him down? You know how many matches go to time? So not only is he the most boring character to watch, but the stream hates him because every time they see Sonic, they know it's going to be this snooze fest in which no one gets killed, barely any combos. And yeah, Sonic still has some good, you know, matches. It all came to a head when this player, ironically enough, called Sonix, Sonix, had a huge upset against, I believe, MK Aleo or Tweak, but you know, some of like the best players ever. But he was beating these players in an online environment with Sonic. So people just got very, very upset. So everyone hates Sonic, and this is all goes back to why Smash Bros. Ultimate is cut. Because realistically, if they had Smash Bros. Ultimate on Evo main stage, you would see Sonic in the finals. You would.
Oh yeah.
You would see Sonic in the finals. It'd be so
boring. It
boring.
would be a bad look for Evo too. Like honestly, like I think you know, if a lot of people are tuning in, they'd rather blame it on, you know, Evo and their whole setup rather than like Nintendo. I think that's just the easier person to like point the finger at. So I don't. It's just easier if they just don't even entertain.
However, in a more positive lineup, I will say that the lineup they chose seems awesome. A Grand Blue Fantasy is an amazing game. I'm very happy that that's there. So is a Samurai Showdown. Huge fan of Soul Calibur.
Some Sleeper Boys in here.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, maybe not for the main stage, quote unquote, but we got Them's Fighting Herds is in there, which I've heard.
Skullgirls, which is great.
Killer Instinct coming back.
I can't believe it. It's such a fan favorite, you know? I love that that's a
apparently
thing.
Killer Instinct Online, like the performance for that game is like incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
it's really good.
The only game I'm not super familiar with is Under Night in Birth. I know it's the anime fighter, and I know it's like a super serious, it's very competitive. I've watched some of it, but I've just never played it. Have you ever played it?
I never played it. I've seen it been played. Yeah, people are super into it, and that's another one that's kind of risen through the ranks from like total obscurity to, you know, being kind of viewed as one of the bigger players now. So.
Now, obviously, there's no Street Fighter Third Strike here, so the event will suck, right? Like, it could have been good, but this, jokes aside, I think so you're going to hear it here, folks. This is going to be a fantastic year for Evo. I think a lot of events are starting to realize that you can save a lot of money by not having to pay venue costs. Like, you can save a lot of money. And really think about this, right? Evo is going to be run on July 4th, 5th, July 11th. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's five weekends of premier fighting games in which the entire fighting game community will watch. Will it break viewership records? I don't think so, because you know the crowd will be gone. Like, it's hype to see the crowd. Like, let's not try to sugarcoat that. However, I think the bottom line, Evo will do well. I think this is great. I think if you can if you can hit that view count, if you can sell ads for this, if you can get sponsors for this, I'm seeing nothing but profit for a really, really awesome run online event.
I'm sure if money wasn't an object and they didn't have to worry about like venue costs or anything, I'm sure this is exactly how the Evo tournament organizers would want it to be.
Yep.
You know, everything's not so like jam packed. It's not so much to like
Yeah.
control. You know, it's spread over like 5 weekends. You just tune in.
And this is
watch your
awesome.
game.
Like we're really going to get to see these games given all kind of the spotlight. It's, you know, like I remember there was always this tension between the Street Fighter community who, like, you know, they are kind of like the old crowd. I guess I'm part of it, but the veterans are like, you know, Street Fighter is the game, so we better be last. You know, like Street Fighter is the grand finals. Like Street Fighter is the legacy game. And I feel as if that has become like less and less true. Like Dragon Ball FighterZ is like arguably way more hype, and I would even say that a game like Samurai a Showdown is more hype. But I think this is going to be good. I think everyone's going to like enjoy their game getting the spotlight. The only bad thing, obviously, is the lag. There will be laggy things, right? There will be probably issues.
It's just bound to happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was Mortal Kombat's. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Mortal Kombat's in there.
Yep, but it's just on the open tournament, though.
Yeah, I mean, this would have been their second chance to kind of get into the main lineup, but did not quite make it. I don't know if it's like that speaks to the player base or how many entries they got, or you know if they just have beef with the Mortal Kombat developers or whatever.
If I had to make a swap here, I would swap Mortal Kombat for Soul Calibur. I feel
Soul Calibur,
Soul Calibur is the ugly duckling here. Like
I might argue Samurai Showdown maybe deserves an open tournament spot more so than the main stage. But...
Nah, see, because I think Samurai Showdown has enough top tier pro talent that love the game. Like, you know what I mean?
That game is super cool. The fact that you just do
popular.
so much damage on like super well timed attacks and everything like that.
Very popular.
I mean, it's really cool. I'm just saying.
So, anyways, as usual, you can expect new announcements too. So perhaps there'll be some new game announcements. I expect something perhaps from Guilty Gear, right? Maybe we can get some new Street Fighter with downloadable content. Maybe some new characters.
Guilty Gear Strive just got pushed to 2021, unfortunately. So we're not going to see it in November or whatever they were shooting for. So
is DJ in Street Fighter 5 yet? I don't think he is. I think that'd be cool if they put in DJ. I love DJ. Anyways, moving on. Our last topic of discussion today is the PS5. So apparently, just announced at the Sony corporate strategy meeting, they plan to introduce a compelling lineup of titles for PS5. So like, let's be real. We don't really have much information here. I'm just gonna have a big old close up of of his face now. What is his name? What is it? He's
Oh, I have no idea, dude.
Gosh, here. Let me look this up right now. We are a well prepared podcast. President of Sony Games, right? That's probably him, right?
Sure.
Wow, we are game industry experts. Oh, here he is. Got him. Finding him. So anyways, Eric, as I look for this beautiful man's name, what do you think are some of the biggest IPs and titles that could really blow fan socks off when it comes to PS5?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think about this, and there's obviously a difference between games that are definitely going to be coming out for PlayStation 5 and, you know, games that it's likely are going to be launched with the platform. You know, games like sequel to God of War, I feel like is going to need a lot more time. Horizon Zero Dawn sequel is going to need a lot more time. Spider-Man 2, I can't see that coming out this year, you know. So we have like what we've been told already, which is like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be like a cross release between this generation and next generation. There's the Gearbox game called, what was it called?
Bro, so I actually got you right here, courtesy of IGN. He used every confirmed PS5 game.
Yeah, I think it's called Godfall, and that was shown off at E3 last year.
So let me just list these off right now so we can get through, so we know. So, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, great. We got Battlefield 6, including the controversy of whether or not this photo is appropriate, but I won't even get into that. We have a game called Chorus coming out in 2021. Do you know anything about this game?
Chorus, I think, is the spooky game by the Blooper team, I want to say. They made Observer, maybe.
Okay. Well, it looks spooky.
That might be the game that I'm thinking
It looks spooky, and I don't like it. So, Chorus. We have Destiny 2, which I'm actually pretty stoked for. I've never played the Destiny games, but maybe this is the chance. All of my friends love it.
It's free to play on Steam too.
Yeah, but I got so many games I have to play, right? I have so many RPGs I gotta finish. Am I really gonna start another? We got Dirt 5, which is the most obnoxiously spelled game in the world. Capital
Dirt.
D, lowercase I. Looks good though. Godfall. Godfall. I've never heard of this one. I'm too much of an esports boy. What is Godfall?
Yeah, that's the Gearbox game that I was trying to find the title for. It was announced during E3 last year, and it had the big PS5 logo.
I'm seeing the reveal trailer right now. Yeah. Wow, it looks great. It's like Dark Souls meets an anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
I'm excited.
Gods and Monsters. Okay, looks cute. Don't know
it's
what
by
it is.
Ubisoft.
I like Ubisoft. I like Rayman. I'm like some simpleton.
I love Rayman. I would kill for another Rayman legend in this game.
Rayman would be great. Madden, okay, sleeper. I don't care. Madden. Microman. Hell yeah. What is Microman? What on earth is Microman, and how have I missed this? This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the perfect use of, a gamers only want one thing and it's sick. This male fantasy. This is it. We all want to be Microman. We want to be. This is so great. It's a survival game.
Right now, the Photoshop for this episode has to be.
Yeah, it's got to be this.
Either you or me on the thing, and then one of our faces just spread across the soul of this.
Oh, that's good. So we're smashed. So one of us is smashed. Man, Microman looks great. So you're a tiny boy, and you got to survive. Oh my God! Wait, let's get some gameplay footage up here. I want some gameplay
Is it really
footage.
called Microman?
It's called Microman, bro. Look at this. You got a little fork. You jump the rocks.
What?
Run for that. Talk to a bunny. Skateboard. Whoa.
I've literally never seen this game before. Wow.
Hey, listen. Classic next gen launch title.
Find your way to be big again.
Find your way to be big again. Listen, I'm trying to find my way to be big again every day of my life. Look at this. Don't get stepped on. Oh, jumped it. This game looks actually horrible, but that's why it looks so good. So,
and it's definitely going to be a QuickTime event that they scrubbed off screen.
Yeah.
These all look like QuickTime events.
These are QuickTime events. You know what? So Microman. Oh God, I love it. Okay, so this reminds me of two games. It reminds me of Mr. Mosquito. Do you remember that game for the PlayStation 2? It also reminds me of a really old game for the PC where you control a roach. Do you remember that game? I think it's called Bad Mojo. Yes, Bad Mojo.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some time to talk about Bad Mojo right now. Talk about a game ahead of its time. You play as a roach and you have to survive. And it is just so insane. But it's very similar to this. I got a Bad Mojo vibes when I saw him fending off the little guy with a fork. So, weird game, but sure. Microman. That's now the name of this podcast.
I can't believe. Oh, it has to be, yeah.
Observer System Redux. Okay, looks serious.
That's by the Blooper team.
Okay.
That's Observer. It's like a spooky. It's like a spooky sci-fi.
Is it spookier than this? This is nightmare fuel.
No, that is horrible.
Can you imagine if you take off your shoes, long day at work, and you see a tiny corpse of a man, like blood, brains, like viscera? You're like, I stepped on Microman and I didn't even know it. There's
Poor
Outriders.
Microman.
God, why does every game look the same? What is this?
He's wearing like overalls, so you can't imagine he was part of like some science experiment.
Yeah,
Going
he's
on.
just
He
a
must have been,
normal.
like,
This is so funny. I love how I keep trying to go to other games, but we just keep going back to Microman.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stop talking about this game.
can't believe.
So, what is this game? What is this Destiny clone? Like, why does every game have to look like this?
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, if you told me that was Anthem, I believe
Yeah,
you. If you told me
seriously,
it
what
was
is-
Destiny? I believe you.
Every game has to look like this. So obnoxious.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Rainbow Six Quarantine. I saw some like gameplay of this. I think looked pretty sweet. Or
Yeah, yeah.
maybe it was the like reveal trailer. Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, if more gun games. Scarlet Nexus. This seems like a game you would play.
Oh, we got yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
that game? Yeah, it looks like Code Vein, which is literally like Dark Souls meets anime.
Dark Souls meets
like we were
anime.
saying before. Yeah, but this is even more anime. Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
I think it's also by Bandai Namco, which is,
It is.
not super good,
So-
probably.
So, you know what I would love? I would love if Lord of the Rings Gollum, you know the screen in Mario 64 where you just play with his face?
Oh yeah.
I would love if that's the whole game. You can just play with this extremely realistic Gollum. You could squeeze his ears, you can poke his eyes. It's like a Flash game, but on the greatest graphics you've ever seen.
I don't know if I even want to play as Golem.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he can
It's not
sling webs
Golem,
and
it's Gollum.
grapple and fight. Whatever.
Okay, a golem is a mythological creature made
Yeah,
of sand and or brick or mud
Nerd.
or stone. The Sims 5, sorry, bro, Animal Crossing is dominating the space right now. Who's gonna play Sims? They're gonna play Animal Crossing. No.
There's a
jokes aside, Sims.
very hardcore,
Very
Sim,
loyal. Yeah, very
community
loyal.
behind the scenes.
Hey, I have nothing but mad respect for Sims, man.
Oh yeah, there's
when
like
The Sims
14
came out,
content packs that come out every year, and
Yeah.
people just buy.
It's a
every
huge
single
game.
one.
Vampire, The Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. Okay, looks cool. I mean, not really.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing, but have
That,
you ever
that
played this
first
game?
one has a big old cult following, so
Mm.
people are pretty hyped.
And Watchdogs Legion. Okay, so out of all of these games, my first thing I've noticed is there's no RPGs really, like no turn-based classic RPGs
Like
announced.
JRPG kind of.
Yeah, like you know, like by the way, I learned his name and then I immediately forgot it. It was
Microman.
it was Kaiser. God, was it? Oh God, I'm just gonna. You know what? Tweet me his name. Someone tweet me his name, and God, I just have to do it. Let's see. Where is it?
But yeah, aside from like those games, which I'm not particularly blown away by what
Mhm.
they've shown so far, but I think that's what this June event is hopefully going to be all about.
Yeah.
Getting people hyped. It's not just like games you can also get on PS4. It's like, all right, we've been working on this shit for a while now, and you can
Mhm.
only get it on PS5, and it's going to be out like in 6 months.
Yep.
That's what I want. One of the games that was supposed to come out this year but got delayed indefinitely is
Was
Dying
Microman?
Light. Microman, yeah.
Yeah.
It
No,
literally
sorry.
got announced like a month ago. I was looking
Dude,
it up like that.
Dude, Microman. Oh my God. We have to have. No, sorry. What was the game you were saying?
Oh, Dying Light 2.
Oh.
That first game was way better than I thought it was going to be, and this second game, I heard a lot of people saying it was like the best thing that they played at last year's E3. So
Mhm.
I was getting really hyped, and to hear that it got delayed indefinitely, it was kind of disheartening. But I mean, Last of Us 2 got delayed indefinitely, and then it got pushed back like a month. So I
Yeah.
mean, what does that really mean?
Yeah. Well, anyways, that is all the time we have for today.
Yeah, that's it.
Our podcast is wrapping up. I'm just trying to find a image for Microman PS5 so we can end on a good note. Let's end on this one. I like this image of the bunny, him talking to the bunny. There we
Could
go.
only be
There we go. So, hey, this has been another episode of the Inven Global Podcast. My name has been Nick Durazio. You can follow me at Nick Durazio 3RD. You can follow us at Inven Global. Check us out at invenglobal.com. Shout outs to HyperX, these fantastic microphones and headphones. Once again, bring my voice with stunning clarity to all of you. And Winco Stainless, a.k.a. Eric Gandell, signing out. Where can they find you, Eric? I guess that. Winco Stainless.
Yeah.
All right, well, these are two Micromen signing out. See you guys next episode. Later. Bye-bye. Bye.